this is a continuation of I've been teaching partials, and my last lesson I did it in the key of E, and that was really handy because I didn't do a loop on it. That was just a little loop. I was playing just real simple G, C, G, D, C, G, so 1, 4, 1, 5 kind of thing. What I wanted to show you though was how, and I mentioned this last time, how you can take that form that I showed you guys in the key of E, which is, it's kind of handy because you got your low E chord and you can just slide up to that form right there, that shape, which if you are interested in that lesson, check me out, jimmydillon.com or on my YouTube. So what I'm going to do now though is what I want you to mentally understand is that when you have an E chord like that, right, and you know this already probably, but when some people are intimidated by bar chords, but shouldn't be, because they're actually a simple thing in that you go from an E and then unless you move up to an F, all you're doing is barring, you're actually moving the nut up one, right? So you're doing the same, and then, so these stay the same, and so on. All you're moving is, you're moving this part, where you bar it. And the reason I mentioned that is because today we're going to talk about the key of G, and so you're probably asking yourself, well, yeah, how does that particular lesson, which deals with what I call partials, okay? It's a 2-string pinch, and so you could call it a double stop if you want, but it utilizes the G string and the high E string, and in the key of E, you're pinching right there, G sharp and an E. But you can also do that in this form, and that's handy because if someone's playing a rhythm and you're playing, it's going to sound really good. And so this is a way to embellish if somebody's got a solid rhythm going and you want to just do something that rings out. These little partials are going to be really handy for you and really shine some light on your playing, I think. So now, because I have this little loop in G, I'm going to show you the same thing I showed you in E, but we're going to apply it in the key of G, and I want you to think about that G chord and think about these notes, which is basically 4th on the G and 3rd on the high E. And just, again, utilizing those 2 strings. This whole lesson is all about that. Now, if you want to climb, it looks like this. This right here is the next inversion of a G chord. But we're not going to worry about all that stuff. And then the next one on C, well, if you know this is a G chord, and you go up here, a bar C looks like that. But we're just going to be concerned ourselves with these 2 notes. Again, that G and that. So you got the, what is it, the 9th on the G string and the 8th on the high E. And if you move that up 2, same exact pattern. There's your D chord, it's your 5, right? And back down to C. And if you want, you can catch this on the way down. You've heard that. Brown Eyed Girl and all that stuff. So if you walk that down slowly, there's your D, there's your C, your 4 chord, and then pick these up on the way, which I just showed you. 7, 5, 3 on the high E, 4 on the G, which is where we started, okay? So hopefully you can kind of grok that in that, if you're looking at a power chord, I guess you call it, or a bar chord, if you're utilizing just that G and the E string of that chord, that's why I call it a partial. It's just a part of that chord. But it really works nicely. Cat Stevens. So you can use that pattern in the C too, and D too. So I hope this not too crazy for you. But let me do this. Why don't I go ahead and play the loop, and I'll play exactly what I just showed you, but I'll do it in in context of what it sounds like with the rhythm. To our D pattern we showed you. C, back to G. You can climb or not climb. D, C, down to that G, and so on. So I was playing, just so you know, this is what that rhythm looked like that I played there. Just G to C, kind of a folk chord thing, folk blues or whatever. That's the loop I created. Okay, so if you got one guitar player playing that, it's a million different songs really, but and you got the other guitar playing what we just did, which was the and so on. You're going to get what I consider to be, it's sort of an Americana style, a singer-songwriter, I guess you would say. Kind of a nice accompaniment to a rhythm. And once you realize how those little partials work in each key, and I'm going to get to it, I'm going to do a few other keys. I'll probably do A next, which again, if you think about that bar chord, G, G sharp, A. Still the same exact forms. If you can memorize those forms, you can do them in any key. C, D, B. They always work beautifully. And there's other ways to do that, especially if you're in minor keys and stuff. You can get into. But I'm really fond of that. You want to say hi? That's Luna. She's just saying hi. I'm being passed. You want to say hi? All right, come on. She wants to be a star of the show. Get up here. This is my girl Luna. She's a studio cat now. I call it the barn out here. She's got her little GPS in here in case she tries to bolt. We can find her. Anyway, there's the partial lesson. I'm a big fan, especially of the G and the that G and high E string. Boy, it's just I get so much mileage out of that. And then you get that real. So we'll get into all that eventually. If you like this type of stuff, hit me up at jimmydillon.com. I got lots of stuff. Love to hear your comments. So chime in. I'm just sending this stuff out to you, and hopefully I'll shine a little light on and make the guitar playing that you're doing more fun. That's my goal. All right, we'll see you down the road.